Welcome back to Weekly Briefing, everybody. Well, House Freedom Caucus member and Wisconsin Congressman Tom Tiffany is calling out House Democrats, most of whom voted against legislation to deport illegal immigrants convicted of driving while under the influence. The bill was opposed by 160 Democrats. Some of those opposing the bill argued it amounted to fear-mongering. Now, in Dane County, Wisconsin, a sanctuary jurisdiction, an illegal immigrant struck and killed 2 Minnesota teens. Headlines in the mainstream media label the illegal immigrant a, quote, Wisconsin driver. Congressman Tom Tiffany, what do you make of this?
It's the legacy of Joe Biden, the Democrats, over the previous 4 years when they left. They allowed 10 million people to be able to come into this country illegally, and we're still seeing the impact of it. And now 2 teenage young adults are dead as a result of a repeat offense drunk driver, illegal alien, traveling down the interstate here in Wisconsin and killing those 2 young people who had their lives snuffed out. I mean, this is the result of what has happened over the last 4 years, and something has to be done in regards to these sanctuary jurisdictions, because these 2 young people are from Minnesota. They're not from Dane County. This has deadly consequences for people that are traveling through these sanctuary jurisdictions.
Is this a situation where people can see the results of the sanctuary cities policy right in front of them? Because this illegal immigrant, actually, this is not the first accident I think that she had. Is that right?
That's correct. It's a second offense, drunk driving, committed a crime as an illegal alien. If this person would have been reported by the Dane County Sheriff's Department, ICE could have put a detainer on and removed that person from the country, which is happening in many parts of the country at this point, where jurisdictions that work with ICE, they will remove people who have committed illegal acts while being an illegal alien in this country, and they can be removed from the country. Dane County does not honor ICE detainers, and this is the consequences of it. And for the life of me, I don't understand it. I mean, at the top, you said, what was it, 150, 160 Democrats that would not vote to remove a drunk driver from the United States that is here illegally. I mean, they've committed 2 illegal acts. It is just beyond me why Democrats don't understand. This has deadly consequences for Americans.
Is there any thought now amongst maybe some of your Democratic colleagues, maybe in the Dane County area, maybe the member of Congress who represents that area, to perhaps revisit this issue of having a sanctuary jurisdiction in Madison, Wisconsin, and Dane County?
Well, they're going to get every opportunity going into 2026 as some of the thought leaders in the Democrat Party to do that with the retirement of Tony Evers as the governor. I mean, there's going to be a number of gubernatorial candidates, one of them probably being the Attorney General. The Attorney General candidates are going to be able to stand up and say, you know what, we do not believe these sanctuary jurisdictions should exist in Wisconsin. We're going to find out. Are they willing to take that position? I predict they won't. I believe their position will be to defend those sanctuary communities, and we need to call them out because it can have deadly consequences for people throughout Wisconsin. If you remember back in the run-up to the November election, there was an illegal alien that had committed numerous crimes in Dane County and then went over on a spree in Prairie du Chien, which is about 50 miles away over on the Mississippi River. And that's when the Dane County Sheriff said, no, we're not a sanctuary city, and Congressman Tiffany, you should butt out. Well, you know what? I'm not going to butt out because this has consequences for across the state.
You, of course, serve on the House Judiciary Committee, and I think that some of the news that's really, rocked Capitol Hill was the information unearthed by DNI Tulsi Gabbard and criminal referrals to the Department of Justice with regard to this Russian collusion hoax. She called it a collusion, a conspiracy, words to that effect. You posted on Twitter, you still have nearly half the public that does not understand that it was a hoax. that Donald Trump colluded with the Russian government because the mainstream media will not tell the truth. Unpack that a little bit for us, sir. What are you talking about there?
There are so many people that do not get their media from people like you, John, that they still believe that Russia collusion happened. I mean, it is an article of faith for them. So we still have to overcome that with, I don't know if it's half the American public, but it's a good third of the American public. They still think that it's Russia collusion because it was drummed into their heads for 2 years in 2017 and 2018, and they just take it as an article of faith. And we all know now that it was a hoax, and perhaps one of the biggest hoaxes perpetrated in the history of American politics.
Well, for the record, the CIA director, Mr. Ratcliffe, put out on X a statement. He released a lot of information, which is sort of the predicate for what Ms. Gabbard did. He said, quote, "All the world can now see the truth. Brennan, Clapper, and Comey manipulated intelligence and silenced career professionals, all to get President Trump." Apparently, a conspiracy. It sounds like a conspiracy to me there in terms of what the CIA director is saying. Would you agree?
Yes, I think it's becoming more and more clear as we go along. And we in the Judiciary Committee, I think, are going to have the opportunity, because we do it annually or semi-annually, to have the FBI director and the Attorney General before the Judiciary Committee. And I think they're going to come before us this fall. I'm really interested in asking them, where does this stand at this point? Have you identified additional people besides the leading actors like you just mentioned, Brennan, Comey, Clapper, and others? Are there others that were involved? Because I think that's ultimately what we need to do, is get to the bottom of it and find out who all the people were that participated in this hoax.
Do you think it would be reasonable to expect that perhaps Mr. Brennan, Clapper, or Mr. Comey should be prosecuted for lying to Congress, perjury?
Yeah, I know some people that come to me and they say they set the rules. The Democrats set the rules in regards to this, and it's time for them to play by the same rules. So I'll leave that up to the FBI and the Department of Justice, how the actions that they're going to take. But if there was criminal malfeasance here, then they should pay the appropriate price under the law.
The other thing is, do you feel like the former president, Mr. Obama, is at all culpable for perhaps organizing this, or perhaps being the impetus behind this? I guess we could call it a conspiracy, I suppose, right?
Yeah, with the information that's been released, it's quite clear that President Obama was neck deep in this whole thing, and he was there to undo President Trump. I mean, remember what happened back then, John. Hillary Clinton was going to win in 2016. The Supreme Court was going to become a liberal court because there were going to be a couple members that were going to leave, and the Democrats, liberals, progressives would have a majority on the court, and they would be able to do whatever they wanted to with America. Well, there's this guy, Donald Trump, that came down the escalator, and he disrupted all of that. They could not brook that dissent. They could not brook having somebody like President Trump up in their plans, so they had to destroy him.
7th District of Wisconsin, Tom Tiffany, thank you for talking to us on Weekly Briefing, sir.
John, great to join you once again.